Now, PTI Securities and Futures coming to you for your Friday, October 10th or October 14th wrap up. Today, equity markets once again we're back in the mid 20 to 23 range overnight. So it was a fairly wide range of 23 points overnight in the S&P. The Asian markets were down, the European markets were up. You would have anticipated a relatively quiet opening with the mixed overseas. We did have some good earnings last night with Google coming out. Obviously that helped our S&Ps. They came in this morning, when I came in about 8, 9 up. The S&P had cut Spain overnight from AA to AA minus and put them on negative watch also. Should have actually encouraged a little bit of more nervousness out of Europe, however, not exactly. G20 is going on today, and there was constant rumors of no one official, but people were saying, gee, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. You would have expected by the verbiage coming out of there that this was negative, because originally the bondholders were being asked to take a 21% haircut. Rumors were up to 50%, and a couple of German banks were saying that they thought it should be closer to 60%. So realistically, I'm not exactly sure what the good news coming out of the G20s was, but the only thing we can say about it is none of those reports were official. In any event, the market moved up, threatened to sell off on the last hour, but didn't get around to it. We closed pretty much on our high. The S&P closed up 21, so obviously a 1 3/4% increase. The Dow closed up 166 at 11,644. NASDAQ closed up 47. The 10-year note, they continued to sell off, so yields advanced to 2.23. Dollar was weak again today. Gold up 14 to 16.85. So realistically, it was pretty close to a perfect risk-on day. Very unusual. Second up week, you would have, with news events might come out of Europe over the weekend. Very unusual that people went home long. Very surprised we didn't have a sell-off here today, but we didn't. Early next week, over the weekend we might get something out of the G20, we might not. There's no press conference scheduled, but we might. Early on Monday we have the Empire State Manufacturing, industrial production, capacity utilization. So we have a lot of numbers coming out Monday, and we have the last 3 to 4 months on average the Empire State, the Fed regional surveys, as well as the manufacturing numbers have not been positive. So all this going into it, you would have anticipated a little bit less than a 1 3/4% rise in the market, but that's what we got today, guys. So have a nice weekend. This is Dan Howell, PTI Securities and Futures.